operate just a little bit slow, just the beginning. Get my green screen ready to go. I was trying a few different things over the week, and we'll go with that one. First off, so check in there. We'll wait till the crowd comes in a minute here. All right, we'll get started. It's between 6 and 7 on Sunday night. We've had a busy weekend going with all of the stuff, festivities from New Year's and from, obviously, hold on a minute. I got feedback from a different place. Hold on a second. Sorry, we ain't got as big an operation as we have. That's what happens. Hey, I'm wondering, check this out. If this is my green screen in the back, does that help? No, it does not help at all, does it? No. No. All right, so that didn't work at all. Checking something else. So that's still going to be very interesting. All right, and we're back. We're going to stop screwing around now, get started with the show. We got some things going on. I like to come on Sundays, other than the other days during the week, to come on here, kind of go over a weekly recap, what we did, what happened, and share a few stories going forward. So that's what we're going to be doing. Earlier during the week, between Christmas and New Year's, I had a big goal to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, 2025. Well, that didn't happen. Missed it by a little bit. I thought I could possibly pull it off, but what we did, when you shoot for the stars and you miss, you hit the moon or some crap like that. But that was kind of the thing what all happened, and it played out. And hey, we're over 500 subscribers now, so that's really cool. And it is what it is. So, hey, Jim D, thanks for stepping in. Appreciate it very much. We're actually gonna have Jim on a podcast here on Tuesday going forward. So we got 2 this week set up right now. And hey, Cicero Peep, you're just looking, huh? Well, we are. You got me. Yeah. So we got 2 interviews this week coming up here, and looking forward to that. Actually, the interview I'm doing tomorrow on Monday. She's been an Instagram person for a while now. And her and I have been talking about kind of just ways to communicate better and do things. And she just got picked up by True Social by the one and only President Donald Trump. Actually retweeted or whatever, Retruth or whatever you want to call True Social on her platform. So she's ecstatic on that one. We're hoping it brings a lot of good things to it. We're going to talk about that. I mean, when the most powerful man in the entire world retweets your stuff now, who's to say if he's doing it or his staff or whatever else? Of course, there's all those different lines behind it, but it's still cool no matter what. And you got to celebrate those wins just when you can. That's pretty much all you got to do on those aspects. So we're really excited about that. So 2 interviews going forward this week. We've had a few videos that I put out earlier, which actually came from the chats that we've had in the past. There are some questions. My biggest thing is, hey, feed me information, feed me what you got going on. What are you interested in? What do you want to talk about? And then maybe you want to see a deeper dive of it, truth between lines way. So figure that out. And hey, Lucas B, hello. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting. It's going to be a long night. I actually wasn't feeling very good earlier, so we'll kind of muscle through. I got my liquid drink here, making that happen. But we're good to have you guys on here. So one of the things we did earlier this week was I put a video out. Came down to America's challenge in farming. If you were on the chats earlier this week, some people brought that up, and I thought that was a great subject. It was about, hey, how are we as America producing enough crops to feed not only our country but a lot of the world, because we do send export a lot of the stuff we make here and grow around the world. So it's kind of one of those things. So go look at that one. It was a pretty decent thing. I put a couple. Use my green screen is new in the back. And hello, glorious Kenny. Thanks for joining on. But yeah, my green screen is kind of new, so I'm getting used to it. It's kind of odd to have that in the background of all things, and kind of doing some different videos with that one. And then another question that popped up on the chat not too long ago, a couple days ago, a guy named AB challenged me. He said, you know what? Why, he was not from America. I think he was from the UK, I want to say, or somewhere else, maybe Germany. But he comes on there and he says the obvious question. He says, hey, why do you guys pledge to the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance? And it's one of those things where it was like, hey, Pledge of Allegiance, that's easy. That's an easy answer. Let me tell you all about that. But then I realized it was a legitimate question. I mean, why do we pledge allegiance to the flag? And realizing a lot of other countries, most countries don't do that. It's not a thing that they do. So take a look at that. It's called Why Do You Pledge? I put it up yesterday. So Glorious, can you talk about Venezuela? I mean, there's so many details about that. Which part exactly? Let's put it that way. The fact that we kidnapped their president, their installed president. The fact that we blew up their boats. I actually did a video not too long ago about their boats as well. It's called What the Military Can Do Better. And that was in total regard for all the ships that they were blowing up and everything too. So, to be honest with you too, I'm more of a national person, talking about the United States, not international. But obviously I know, I read, I see, I watch all the other stuff going on forward though. And I'm trying to bring on a guy that's actually, his family is from Venezuela, to kind of get his whole thing on there as well. All right, so Glorious K, I mean, the U.S. broke international law, right? Okay, yeah, in getting into it, I'm going to try and bring that Venezuela guy on and get his opinion on that one, because his dad emigrated here from Venezuela. I'm not sure if he did per se. Broke international law. I don't know enough about to talk about it, but I'm wondering here, here's a question for you, Glorious Canny. What's the difference between us doing that and going against Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden or somewhere else, where we kind of just get in there in the middle of the night, pull them out and do it? And you wonder if Maduro, and again, I don't know a whole lot about Venezuela nor Maduro, but if he's such a bad dude and all that stuff, I mean, would you have stopped other dictators around the world throughout the years before they got too powerful or behind things? So that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, exactly. The Greg Obama did the same thing. Yeah. I mean, what Osama bin Laden. I mean, that was my kind of point, is you just go in there and you take out the guy and that's it. So I'm wondering if that's something what's the big difference? So again, I'm not instructed on all of those things overall. So that's where I'm at there. Maduro is a kind of a bad man. Yeah, Glory, he is kind of a good bad man. Yeah, it's called Putin. Yeah, I don't know. Virgil Nigel was legal. Yeah, I'm curious to see. And even if it is legal, even if the whole thing is 100% legal, what precedent does it set? I mean, I could play both sides on this thing. Do I agree in it? Sure, fine, great. I don't know enough. I hate when everybody becomes experts all of a sudden about stuff they have no idea what they're talking about, and then it's like, oh yeah, just because it happened and Orange Man's bad and all that stuff, and then everybody becomes a tariff expert and all the stuff in between. So I don't know enough about that. But if he was starving the people, if he was just murdering, doing all the horrible things a dictator does, I mean, Venezuela was a thriving country at one time. What happened? And kind of point the fingers on that one. So Frenchy 57, to believe that international laws exist is naive. The only rule that matters is the law of the strongest. Yeah, I mean, you got a point there too. I mean, that's the insurance payment on that one. And to figure out, who, like, the United States is going to do whatever they want to. Who's going to say anything different? Like what? Prove us wrong. Do something different. And that's kind of it. It's law. Ask Schumer. Virgil Nigel, I saw it. It is funny to see the, is it Virgin? A Virgin Eagle? If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I never want to mispronounce his name. It's just someone small, my type. It's funny to hear Joe Biden and Schumer and a few of the other lawmakers talk about Maduro, about how horrible Venezuela is under his law and under his rule. And then, years ago, 10, 15 years ago and stuff, Biden ran on that in 2020 that he was going to help the Venezuela people. Obviously, he did nothing for it at all. And then, boom, here we go. And now that the orange man did it, it's like, oh no, Trump is bad. We can't do that. I can't believe he would do that without a congressional approval and all that. Yeah, that doesn't fly. So I think they should just continue playing on loop all of the Democrats and all the way that they were talking and doing all that. It's kind of an interesting thing. And I'm curious now, too, of all the people that are going to be rioting in the streets, protesting in the streets for it. I've been watching videos of that. And then, of course, they get shut down by people that are actually from Venezuela. And you're like, hey, this is my actual life. You don't know what you're talking about. So it's very interesting on that aspect of it. Like to draw things. Welcome back. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate that. That was funny. I do appreciate that. Archangel people are just weird. Yeah, they are. Hey, lunatic libertarian, welcome. Hey, I'm sorry you missed Friday. We were talking about you. Just another day where we take a few Apaches and SEAL team to gather foreign countries' presidents. Hey, so lunatic, it actually just clarification, it wasn't the SEAL team. It was actually Delta Force. It was the Army Delta Force. So SEAL Team 6 did Obama. It was Delta Force that did this one. So just to give credit where credit is due to the Army, congratulations on that one. Yep, if he was black, it's okay. All right, Virgil. But lunatic, I did want to talk to you about some stuff too. Timmy offline, but I'll hook up with you later on. Not that we know each other at all, but I do. I was watching some of your stuff and some of your comments that about you can't find opposition, and I kind of wanted to play that devil's advocate on that one. So anyway, we'll get to that later on. Virgil, yeah, Army rules, yeah, okay, cool, very cool, yeah, Roger that, yeah. Yeah, so I just, and I wonder if SEAL Team 6 was busy. I don't know. They're like, hey, Arby, you want this one? They're like, yeah, we'll take this one. So, but congratulations to them. I mean, fantastic. I heard that obviously no Americans were harmed. One, I think it was a helicopter that took fire, but still could fly out of there. So fantastic. They didn't talk about anybody on Venezuela's side that I saw about anything. So I'm kind of like, well, hopefully nobody really got hurt there overall, but it is what it is. So, Jason Price, that put Americans first. I'm kind of reading into that one, but right. Virgil, Army Aviation in Vietnam. Oh, hey, thank you for your service. Appreciate that, Virgil. I'm gonna say Nigel. I'm gonna say Nigel from now on. Army Aviation Vietnam. That must have been rough being on that aspect of it. So you definitely love the Army on that one, but. So we'll see the fallout. We'll definitely will. We'll see what other countries, I think it was Mexico, came out and said that they are not happy with it, which kind of like they're kind of on the dictator realm too a little bit. I was reading some things about that as well, about how she got into power. And so, yeah, I would imagine that a lot of people around the world, a lot of leaders around the world are kind of worried that, if they're next, if they're the next thing, if they're going to be watched. And we'll see how attitudes change as we move forward on this one. So it's kind of crazy on that one. Beginning of the end, says Mojo. Depends on how you're looking at it. Oh, the orange. Sorry, Nigel, orange agent. Sergio, make Epstein great again, right? Yeah, okay. Well, can't anymore, but locals are very happy. The locals are very happy. Good, yep. And exactly. And Frenchie 57, you think the Venezuelan armed forces are incompetent for having allowed this rapid operation? That's interesting. I kind of thought about that on an off note earlier today when I was reading about this. I mean, how did it, great, granted, the United States is the best country in the world, but how did they just kind of go in there? I mean, I think it was like a 40-minute operation or something like that. They're in, they're out, they cut the power, they shut down all of the anti-aircraft stuff. They get him and they're gone. And the wife too. Don't forget, they got this wife too, he's gone. I mean, or were they complacent in it too? I mean, they had somebody in there. The CIA was sitting on the ground too. So yeah, it's a hard thing on that one. All right, so Venezuela has been in the works for 25 years. Good. Trump, other nations. Yeah, Jason Price, other nations are thinking how we cut the head of the snake in 2.5 hours. Was it 2.5 hours? Okay, I think, I heard something, but yeah. Turns out you can't run a cartel while being president, and it turns out you You can't mass smuggle drugs. Ah, it's good there. Yep. Does Congress have the power to declare of the president? So Matacast asked the question, does Congress have the power to declare or the president? Well, technically for wars, the Congress has to declare war, but then again, are we at war right now? And were we at war with Osama bin Laden too? So Russia didn't ask for permission to invade Ukraine. Yeah. Clay Dustin Dirt. Hey buddy, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you, King Trump. Well, JG, whatever, 5HB. A lot of people thought that Trump was going to be a dictator. They said, oh, he's going to do all these dictatorish stuff and he's going to be king. And then all of a sudden it's like he takes out the actual dictator. So what do you think about that? But you can be a PDF file president. Right. Now I'm reading that wrong, but Nigel, you said no. Which part? Let me know about that one. I'm not sure if I missed something on that one, but interesting stuff. So we'll see how it all plays out. Again, with all of the things going on, it's Lord Trump, get it right. Clay, Dustin, Dirt, never failing on that one. It's Lord Trump, get it right, Yeppers. Yeah, that's the hard thing. It's there are so many kings out there and dictators around the world, and everybody thinks that Trump is going to be all of those things. And it's like, he's not. No matter how you look at it, it is what it is. Does this mean China can take the president of Taiwan? Oh, so Matacats, that's an interesting question. Does this mean China can take the president of Taiwan? So I'm actually going to Taiwan in June. I have a thing going out there for a big conference and convention. So I definitely got the insurance on that trip because, well, number one, could China do that? That's the question. I mean, can they physically do it as swift as the United States does? So that one I don't know. And do they want to? Because it's a little different situation between Taiwan and China, because China is saying that Taiwan is part of them. America is not saying Venezuela is a part of the United States. So there's all that behind it. So a lot of stuff. Let's move it too quick. Havo Chinara, Happy New Year from New Zealand. Nice and peaceful here. Yeah, okay. Well, welcome. Happy New Year. Super Ultra Mega Maga Power. Okay, well, I'll go with that. Elvis is the king. Yes, Nigel. Jason Price. The one thing I don't understand, you have a chess master. Don't question it. Is he for the Americans? Yeah, if you're calling, definitely that they made that analogy is checkers versus Trump, or checkers versus chess, and Trump is definitely seeing all the moves on that one. I think, again, who are we to, with the knowledge that we have, these, president and everything else, they have so much stuff at the fingertips. They got people working for them. You and I probably, I don't know my audience, all of it, but it's kind of like we're reading and doing our best that we can, but we don't have 50 aides to hand feed us and spoon feed us everything. So they know a lot more than we do overall. All right. Why go to Taiwan? I got a conference there. Stay in the States. Yeah. Hey, Mark Travis, welcome back. Yeah, I got a conference there. That's the thing. It's so I don't have to go, but I'm kind of curious to see. I'm kind of curious to go to Taiwan just to check it out. It's like going to Cuba, before the fall and everything. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like. And then if China ever does invade, I can say like, oh, I was there or I saw it. I don't know. But again, I got the refundable tickets and the insurance. So if I need to do that one, that's what I'm looking at. Bart Travis, Jesus is King. Yep. All right. So Nick and Jessica, this should be fun. I'm making a list of the best trans YouTube streams for my new trans rights advocacy. And I would like to know if you support the rights of true trans, and I could add you to the list. Do I support the rights? That's a loaded question overall. So no, I would not add me to the list. Let's just put it that way. I would imagine if you want to go to the actual point of that, people can do whatever they want to behind closed doors, and they can do surgery if they're over the age of 18 and in the right mind. They can do whatever they want to, but leave the kids alone. So there's my answer to that one. Congrats on, yep, right. You saying China doesn't have more reason to take Taiwan. Also, why can't they if they take the presidents from other countries? So what I'm saying is, number one, I mean, China has their military, obviously, but could they do a surgical strike like we just did? So, and if China is legitimately saying that Taiwan is a part of them, you don't want to make war with them. Like, if you don't want to piss them off, the Taiwan people, they don't want to have that one. And let me see if I can get rid of this person. Oh no, that's something else. So I mean, if you want to absorb the people from Taiwan or from another country into your country and do good and all that stuff, you don't want to just take out their leader and make him look like a fool. You got to do that with kid gloves. I mean, you really got to do it with kid gloves. Okay, that's my point. And I don't know anything about the Taiwan's president or whatever, czar or whatever they are. I don't know anything about them, but are they killing people? Are they starving people? Is the Taiwan currency in the toilet like Venezuela? That's my point overall. I just don't know if it does it because again, if you're trying to have them as a country, a part of it, you got to do it differently than a surgical strike and just make the leader look bad and not do the perp walk down the street. So that's who said that was Maticus, something like that. That's my answer on that one. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Hopefully I did it. I took the wife to Graceland 2021 during COVID. Yeah. That's because you do trans behind closed doors. Good, they, them. Okay, great. This year, renewing our vows for our 10-year anniversary. Hey, cool, Mark Travis. That's cool. Totally support the LGBT plus community. I support them in their conversion to Christianity. I want them all to come back to senses. God bless them all. Rainbow Covenant. Nice job, Clay Dusted Dirt. Well put. Trans Jesus rainbow flag compels you. All right. Well, let's see. All right. Well, let's put him on a timeout. Let's do that. So. Anyway, have a great day. Good conversation so far. I appreciate it. We are over 20 minutes. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. I do help. Look forward to that. Two great presidents of my life. Reagan and Trump, says Mark Travis. Yep. No, you show China what war means against the United States. Jason. Okay, so it doesn't have to be surgical because they have been telling the world it's ours and their enemies are on the land. Yeah, that goes back to my point. You still got to do it nicely. Like just nicely. So I'm trying to read Jason's Price. No, you show China what war means. Yeah, okay. Well, that could be what we did. We did put every leader around the world on notice. I mean, we did that. So did Reagan. Good. Not the rainbow flag. Silly. The rainbow covenant. The promises from God. Rainbow signifies. Yep. Mark Travis. I support all Americans, vaxxed and unvaxxed. Yeah, that's your decision. I mean, yeah, I agree. You got to support everybody. That's their decision to get experimental drugs. Ken Cook says the rainbow flag was originally Jewish. That's interesting. I'll take a word for it. But we haven't had a decent presidential candidate since Ross Perot. God, you and I must be the same age. That's about when I started paying attention on that one. The Bushmen of the Califari. We already covered that, buddy. I don't know. We already covered that. So, but yeah, Ross Perot would have been an interesting one on there only because, he did well and he was a business owner. That's what he did. I mean, of course, he owned oil, so maybe it's a little different, but he's still running a huge company. I think he could have done a big thing. He had all those charts and stuff that he put up and everything. That was fun to watch. But I was a little younger. I don't think I could even vote back then. When was Ross Perot? Ross Perot was against Clinton or Bush? God, I can't remember. I gotta look that up. Lunatic, help me out. I know you know it offhand. Ross Perot. President. 1992. Yeah, it was 92. So I mean, that's when the whole thing went up against it. Mark Travis, I liked Ross because he went up against NAFTA and he was independent. Exactly. Yep. I feel it. Mark Travis, I feel they stole the Lord's rainbow. That's funny. What happens if Venezuela doesn't want us to run them? What happens then? Yeah, Manicus, I don't know. That's again, I like to stick to my national stuff. So I don't know what would happen if, I mean, it seems like they're happy. They got hundreds of thousands of people walking through the streets doing a whole bunch of stuff. So what does happen on that one? But who fills that void behind her? There's a woman, right? I can't remember her name offhand, but is it going to be that woman? Is there going to be a huge void of people that pull in after that? I don't know either. Ari, hello, welcome. Let's see what happens. Yep. I like Ross because I said that. Okay, good. Yep. Frank Aguilar. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Well, it looks like I was right yesterday when I was talking about oil. We got oil now for our country is going to be better off. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how we can get it here. But I ended up voting for Bush in 92 because of Reagan. That's interesting. Clay Dustin, Ross Perot screwed senior, Bush's senior. Wait, Ross Perot screwed senior, Bush's senior's second term. Oh, because he split the vote? That's why? Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, that was kind of an issue on there too. Sure, of course. Hello, KC Savic. Savic. Anyway, are we done with Venezuela? Then I think we are. I mean, again, it's too so far in the beginning. I'm not sure what we can actually talk about, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Let me take a break here. All right. What else has happened? I read the newspaper. If you haven't been following this channel, if you haven't been following this channel, please do. Please go to all the different stuff. Watch the videos and things. I try and do quick videos, about 8 to 12 minutes videos, just kind of get in and out, just people give something to watch. But take a look at those, and I guess we'll get to that in a minute. So the Guaido situation in Venezuela with their electric 2018 and the intelligence agency placing him into power. Yep. So Frank Aguilar, well, there's nothing to talk about. We're going to get all the equipment back. Yeah, right. 25 years old. It's going to be changed out for the new stuff. Companies are going to get rich. Oh, and you cleared up election. The Guaido election in Venezuela. And Demo, all credibility has been lost in brokering peace with other powerful countries. Yeah, so again, if you didn't know about the Venezuela thing, I mean, what they promised us a whole bunch of work and stuff and doing. We could put our equipment down there, and a lot of the gas companies could mine and drill there, and then it just stopped. They just said, no, we're not going to allow this anymore and do it. So that's a big deal. I mean, you can't go get your word on the whole thing on that one. But yeah. So anyway, we're past 25 minutes. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I would appreciate it. So take that moment to do that. And what else we got going on? I was reading this letter to the editor, and I love reading these in the newspaper because it's always like, unfortunately, it always goes Democratic ways. So I figured, hey, why not talk about it on Truth Between Lines, where I can talk about anything I want to. But they're talking about Trump's health. Physically and cognitively, he certainly seems to be failing. His ankles have the circumference of a linebacker's neck. He often nods off in televised meetings. His incoherent statements, often called word salads, would be laughable if they weren't so alarming. And I read stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? Donald Trump sleeps like 4 hours a night. The guy, I mean, what? He's like 78, I want to say he is. Maybe he's 79. So he's older as well. But I think he's still mentally got it. I mean, if you want to compare him to Joe Biden, there's really no comparison. You want to talk about word salads and Kamala Harris versus Trump? I mean, it's such a ridiculous thing. You probably could have just changed all these words to just Kamala Harris being completely ignorant. And I'm looking at it like we literally had to go through 4 years of 4 years of Biden before we got to Trump, and people are still saying that like they forgot. Like we think there's no video or recordings out there about what we went through with Biden mumbling through everything. Kamala Harris talking about the wheels on the bus and doing all kinds of ridiculous comments about, you know, what Russia's in Europe and Ukraine, and Russia's a bigger country than Ukraine. It's just stupid. So these kind of things annoy me. But anyway, let's get back to the chat here. All credibility has been lost in brokering peace with other peaceful countries. Oh, you think, okay, Demo, you think so, huh? Taiwan and Ukraine are done with this move. Countries will unite against us. You know, that is interesting. That is interesting to say that. Because then you got to think, you know, do you want to jump on the bandwagon of the United States and be on Trump's good graces so that doesn't happen to you? Now, we talked about Taiwan a little bit, Demo. Also, don't government officials have diplomatic immunity? A little different, man, because yeah, that's a good question. But back to Taiwan. I mean, Taiwan needs the United States. Otherwise, they're going to get taken over by China. So I don't say, and I would say Ukraine. If I'm reading your question right, because no, I'm going to kind of disagree with you, Demo. The Taiwan needs us for sure. Ukraine needed us for sure, and we were handing them enough money to be taking care of them. But at the same time, whether they're done or not. No, I don't know if that's right. I don't know what the outcome of our country or the world stage anymore. Seems we are heading to destruction. Yeah, that is interesting. The world stage is paying attention for sure. I don't know either. I don't think we're going to know for another 10 years until 3 to 5, I guess. Even when Trump finishes and a little bit after that. Oh my God, Democrats were mad with Trump not bringing Maduro to justice. Now mad that he did. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dana Carter. No. Your guys' names, man. I love it. But anyway, Everybody here remember Manuel Noriega. We did that to him and his country, now Venezuela, and then next is Taiwan. So Frank Aguilar, everybody here remember Manuel Noriega. And we did that to him and his country, now Venezuela, and there. So Israel X, I love the USA from Israel. Well, welcome. Glad you're heavy on the chat. If you haven't liked, subscribe yet, please do. What happens if the next president is a Democrat? They will be able to do what like this administration? Matic is kind of reading your question there. I think we're seeing that. I think we're seeing it right now with Biden. Biden told us that the wall was secure, right? The border wall. We're doing our best we can down there. Oh, Venezuela. He said in a 2020 tweet that, hey, he was going to stand by Venezuela and the people of Venezuela against Maduro. So we're seeing that with what's happening, the action versus the reaction. So can they do it? Sure. Will they do it? No, I don't think so. Israel X is it Kamane is next? Okay, I don't know where that from. I don't know. Danica Ryder 330. Sorry, you try and read it. It's so small on the screen. Danica Ryder 3015. My apologies. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate it. All right, Clay Dustin Dirt. I decided to quit voting when Trump decided some abortions are acceptable. I'm done tossing my hat into politics game shows. I sure wish they were more like reality shows. Yeah, it's one of those things. Remember they made that meme about if Congress actually had like patches and stuff like NASCAR where they had like, sponsored by this and sponsored by this and on their sleeves and stuff, and they had it all over them, and exactly where they did it. Yeah, abortion's a hard thing. I agree. Especially Trump, he's not religious, but he does go to church. So that's a hard one. And it's hard to be a leader of the free world and not straddle that line a little bit, I think. Clay, I agree with you, but you got to keep voting though. So that's it. So 22 Vola, Jew people criticize their own government. Your thoughts on that? Okay. So again, just for out of clarification, I'm more of a national guy, not international, but we can certainly talk about it. Now, when you say Jew people criticize their own government, which government are you talking about? I need to be more specific on that one. Let me know. We'll go back to yours. Maticus, I respect you, but please don't use Biden for the explanation. No one has ever done what Trump has done. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Were you the one that had that question though on the whole thing, about well, the next Democrat president would do it? So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maticus, are you saying that, and I definitely want to, talk about this. Are you saying that Biden was so low that you can't compare the two, or maybe you look more into that? But I respect you too. So I appreciate that too. That's why we're here. We're not here to do anything weird or crazy or push any conspiracies. I definitely want to have that conversation with you. So Maticus, Obama did, and so did Bush. Yeah, we talked about that too earlier on. The Israeli government. Okay, so real quick, Vola, we have done regime change. Yeah, lunatic libertarian. We have done regime changes in so many countries over so many decades. I mean, we have. Our hands are in everything. This country really doesn't believe it won't reap everything it has sown. Unbelievable. Yeah. Rugby Price, hi from Scotland. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. Where was I going to go back to the one thing? The Israel. Okay, the Volvo. Yeah, Volvo. Yeah, here's my bird. Israeli government. Now, see, I don't know a whole lot about again, Israel and international stuff, but are they against their guy? I mean, I would imagine, in my unknown opinion, that Netanyahu is basically protecting the people of Israel right now. And without his strong leadership and without his relationship with President Donald Trump and other leaders around the world, where would we be on that one? Now, I could be wrong. Certainly, please put it in the comments. Let me know what you think about that one. But that's my opinion overall. Israel X, I hope that after Maduro, okay, Kamani's turn will come. Is that the woman? I think that's the woman. But I don't know her at all, other than the last 36 hours. So Frank, the last time I was here in the channel, I was telling you I was from California and we lack. Oh, it flipped. Sorry. Channels lack of oil and gasoline. Now we can send the oil from Venezuela to California, right? Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, well, you're on the wrong coast a little bit, but yeah, I'm sure you can get it over there. No problem there. Sheena, Netanyahu is the real president of the United States. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know about that one. That's interesting. Big stretch there. All right. So you can dislike by going to three dots. So, he's telling you can dislike by going to three dots in the top right corner. Please dislike the video to support the channel. Thank you. Yeah, that's how we do it. Okay. I think, were you here the other day too? I'm not sure. I had to time you out or whatever. But anyway, guys, we're hitting about 35 minutes now. If you please haven't liked and subscribed, I'd really appreciate that. Take the time to do that. So we hit 500 the other day. We were very excited about that. That was a big relief. We wanted to hit it by the end of 2025. Kind of missed the mark by a few days, but hey, that's okay because we're back rolling again now. So it's Ethan 14. Why do you dislike to support the channel? He comes on here. He's just doing that. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would spend time on a channel they dislike and just try and troll around and do stuff. I don't know why. That's not me, but whatever. I mean, the fact is we're just talking about whatever you want to talk about, whether you like my opinion or not. I still want to talk about it. Whether I like your opinion or not, I still want to hear it. So it's just a matter of figuring that out. I wish there was a way we could get, 20 people in a room and do the whole thing. But so hey, it's Ethan. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for actually liking. I do appreciate that. Maybe I'm sure he'll be gone here in a little bit. Troll lives matters. Exactly, Frank. Yeah, you've been here with me for a while here. Rob Mack, what is a good prayer to help fortify the faith of all Americans? Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm not a prayer guy, a religious guy either. I mean, I pray all the time. I love Jesus, but I as far as a prayer goes, that's not me. I don't agree with you, but wouldn't dislike the channel for your opinion. Thanks, Sheena. I pray, again, yeah, we're not here for that. Hey, El Ray, welcome back from Mexico. I'm glad I caught your show. What time or what days you normally podcast? So yeah, El Ray has been here a while. And then lunatic people can't handle the discourse. So typically, I'm always trying to always be on Sundays between 6 and 7. So I'm just saying, whether I have family dinner on Sundays, I kind of get here somewhere between there. Usually it's been around later on towards the 7 o'clock hour. But if you want to just put a notify, hit the clicks and everything, or the button to notify you. Always Sundays 6 to 7, and then the other days, I'm just, if there's something going on and I feel like talking and I feel like I'm bored or I want to, have a conversation about stuff, that's when I hop on El Ray. So that's kind of how it happens. But anyway, good to have you back here, Ronnie. Appreciate it. JG says, make Venezuela great again. Good. Trolls are everywhere. Exactly. What's your opinion on Gavin McInnes and Nick Fuentes? April from England. Hello. Ketty Spaghetti 67. I don't know. Gavin McInnes. I don't know. Okay, we could talk about Nick Fuentes though. I actually found out him. So you're saying Gavin McInnes. I don't know who Gavin McInnes. So I take him off his name. It looks like he's a podcaster, Canadian writer, podcaster, far right commentator with founder. Oh, he's a founder of Proud Boys, and he's the host of Get Off My Lawn with Gavin McInnes. Okay, so I can't talk about him. I can talk about Nick Fuentes though. Let me just see if there's anything else coming up real quick. We'll go back to that. All right, Frank, we'll see you later. You take care, buddy. Thanks for coming on here. Mexico, Colombia are the biggest spots drugs from the country. Will we do the same to them? Yeah, Mexico and Colombia. All right, so Nick Fuentes, he was interesting. I didn't know anything about him. I never even heard his name until he was on the Tucker Carlson show. I didn't watch that. I haven't watched it. And then we started in the chat. Someone said, hey, you got to do it. But it kept always being like, I kept hearing his name. Once you hear something once, you keep hearing about it. So I did. I went on his channel and I watched like 10 minutes of one of his broadcasts talking about him, how he was scared he was going to get hurt, about Charlie Kirk and everything else. And so I kind of like, okay, wait. And someone else told me to watch the Piers Morgan Fuentes interview. So I turned off Fuentes direct channel and I went to the Piers Morgan thing. And I watched the full 2 hours of that talk. And I said, Piers just kind of laid into him. I thought it was kind of a disrespectful interview overall. Because basically what it was Piers going, hey, Nick, you said this. Are you going to take it back or do you disagree now? And Nick's like, no, I'm not. That's what I said. I thought I was pretty clear about that. I didn't stutter. And so I went through the whole thing, and my overall take, and just like a lot of you, I'm sure you'll agree with me on some things, but you won't on others. There are things about Nick Fuentes that I don't agree with. There are things I agree with, although at the whole thinking of it, I can see how he got to the point where he thinks that. Like, I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get how he got to that point. And I think he lays it pretty good out there. He's well-spoken. He's trying to keep it interesting, everything else. Lunatics as Nick Fuentes is annoying in his rhetoric. Well, that just shot down my thing. But yeah, and I'm trying to be a quote unquote influencer and all this stuff, and it's kind of like you got to say those things out loud to get people to notice you, and then you move on from there. I'm trying to just take it easy, one step at a time, because this is how I feel. But like, I'm not leaning all crazy all over the place, and I don't think I'm not here to make a whole lot of money. I'm not here to really do much other than just educate myself and learn more and more. So that's where I'm at with that one. But I don't know. I don't know. I need to probably watch more if I could stomach it. I just don't know if I will, because I don't want. I like to stay positive and stay in that realm of good thinking, and I don't think Fuentes just does that for me. You're an average of the 5 people you hang out with. So Danica Ryder, yeah, Fuentes can get over the top. Okay, good. Yep. The Lions losing really made me angry. I live in Michigan. Did they lose? I didn't watch the games today. I wasn't feeling good earlier. Israeli X, as an Israel Jew, there are things I agree with Nick on, but overall, I think he's just spreading hatred and anti-Semitism. Yeah, he certainly did that. A lot of that during the Pierce thing. The Hodge twins. Yes, I definitely know the Hodge twins. I've been looking at that one. Groypers are annoying. I got to look that up, but Israeli X, if you can, go to my videos too. If you haven't liked to subscribe, everybody too, but go to my videos. I actually did a video with a guy who grew up in Israel. His name's Dan. And how long ago? It was in South Dakota. I actually drove up to South Dakota to be at his house and sit down with him. And we went through the whole thing. Let's see, when was that? But he was an Israeli soldier as well. His mother was actually born and raised in Palestine. 3 months ago, Israel is the victim. So it's 35 minutes, Israel and Hamas. Before you protest, know the truth. So take a look at that one, Israel. Let me know what you think about that. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment on that one. But that's my full video about that one too. So Hodge twins, we'll get back to that. They were out the week ago because of some bad ref. Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate you subbing. Are Jews originally from the Middle East? Oh, Vola. That was an interesting. I forget. I have to watch the video again, because actually I know Dan actually talks about that. Hodge twins. Yeah. The hard thing about the Hodge twins, those guys are so funny together when they get going. If you don't know the Hodge twins, like 2 black guys, are twins, obviously, look almost identical. It's Kevin and Keith, right? Okay. And I'm going by memory. And they're funny as heck, but I hate when they interrupt each other. Like, it's not like it's totally a brother thing, they cut each other off, and they're like, oh, stop doing that. Stop talking like that, So it's not like a back and forth commentary, which kind of annoys me because I don't have any brothers and sisters, so I don't know how it goes. But it's at the same time, like, I like the dialogue going, and these guys are just like, oh, shut up. So, but it is funny. They go back and forth. I do enjoy watching them. It gets a little repetitive, though, when they just keep showing the same kind of videos, basically about black people, African Americans doing something wrong. And they're like, oh, that would never happen here. And it just kind of got repetitive overall. So I catch their highlights. I follow them on some of the other, social medias. But I used to watch their stuff all the time, and then I got kind of over it on that one. So, yeah, and by the way, other social media channels, you follow me at Instagram, True Social, Facebook, X, and Rumble as well. So I'm on all those channels. Pretty much all I do, though, is YouTube. This is about it right here. So siblings just like that. Yeah, exactly. Israel X, the Jews who come from the Middle East, the original name of the land of Israel was Judah. Well, there's your answer right there. So whoever Vola asked that one. Yeah, that is the hard thing. Again, I'm more of a national guy than I am international, but definitely appreciate the guys checking in and answering some of the questions from the other bells. You can either be an asshole or a comedian to create the dramatic attention needed to get reaction to the channel. Yeah, see, I'd rather be the comedian, but even though I'm not that funny, but I agree with you, Lunatic. Yeah. There's some people are just way over the top, and then you see some people mature too, for that matter. You get to you be the jerk for a long time, and then people shock value and all that stuff. And then they kind of mellow out and they change. I think we see a lot with people that get to, even politicians, they raw, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Then they realize they can't do that, or they can't do this. So they kind of mellow out and kind of get back the middle, and that's another reason to get fresh blood, right? In politics, is they get to that point where we just need more stuff going forward. So it's just another food for thought. All right, I'm going to change. What do you guys think of this background? I'm going to change that up a little bit. Oh, I missed a bunch of stuff. You can do okay. I'm glad that Trump is sending our taxpayer dollars over to fund another country we have no reason being involved with. Crazy crab. Yeah, I agree. Vola Vola, you disagree. Oh, you disagree with Israel. Okay. Yeah. And Crazy Crab, what country exactly are you talking about? I mean, you're talking about Ukraine or Israel, or are we talking about Minnesota for that matter? I mean, hey, that was a joke. People there now are not from the Middle East. They are from Eastern Europe. People there are now Somalia. Yeah, well, I don't know if it was our administration that was sending money to actually Somalia. I'm sure we are. I think the stat is or something like that. And Lunatic helped me out, but I think it's 93% of the countries in the world the United States sends money to. I mean, you want to talk about saving money and spending money. That's the ridiculous thing about it is how in the heck are we $38 trillion in debt and still sending monies to everybody overseas? So yeah, we send everyone. Yeah, exactly, Dan. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, how are we funding? How are we funding the Taliban? See, Tim Burchett, congressman out of East Tennessee, he's complaining a lot about that. We're funding the Taliban like $40 million or something like that, like every week. And it's like, how are we funding these guys? We can't be doing that. They're not even set up right to take the money and just all the different aspects of it. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I don't like that background again, so I'll change that again too. I don't know why I'm so worried about the background, but it was fun. I go back to the Quality Leering Center. That's always a good one. But yeah, we'll put I don't know. I don't want to spend. I want to get back to the conversation. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that one. But anyway, a lot of good stuff. We're at 45 minutes here. Like and subscribe. Please do that real quick. What other stories you guys want to hear this week? Anything else going on? And one thing, they did a big article in my paper, which you can't see. It was about Social Security. And it was about how Social Security, about people don't know or understand about Social Security. I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me know if you're interested about that. Doing a little deep dive on that. Going through the numbers and how it comes out of your paycheck and how it could be gone by 2033, all the stuff going forward. So Danica says, we fund pharma abroad so certain countries can have free healthcare. Okay, yeah, you're hit right in the point. I used to be a trumpet, but he is the elite that we haven't been talking about for years. So Danica's right. I mean, the idea was we pay such high drug prices in America so other countries can have lower drug prices because we're subsidizing what they're paying. And of course, President Donald Trump figured that out, America first, and says, what are you talking about? How is that even a thing? So we're looking at that. If he can bring that back into line, I mean, it kind of sucks for all the other countries, but America first, right? I mean, and why are we paying for other stuff as well? So, excuse me. Let me go back to that. So that's one thing. I used to be a trumpet, but he is the elite that we have been talking about for years. Crazy Crab. If I'm reading into that one, yeah, I mean, he's always been elite though. I mean, the guy's always been a billionaire or millionaire at least, and coming from everything else. Well, I mean, lower health care. Danica, I think we went through that. LLL, that's not is rich. Holy moly. Come in, bro. You don't believe that. Please tell me. Wait, which part? Manicats? What did I miss? About the healthcare? Or the drug prices? What did I miss? Yeah, you lost me. Hold on a minute. Oh, wait. Oh, you don't think? Okay. No, I read a report actually. Okay, let's do that. So drug prices. USA versus other countries. I'll tell you what. I read that somewhere. I will verify that it's true. I'll do a video on it. How about that? So Maticats, if you haven't actually liked and subscribed yet, please do. We can talk about that because that is something that was absolutely, well, I shouldn't say absolutely, but it is true. So, Danica says it's true too. Yeah. UK's healthcare is at its all-time low, all-time high for private healthcare. I'm done with the Trump train since the bill passed. You're probably talking about the one big bill. I have. We pay more so others can have. So I'll look at it. Oh, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for subscribing. This week I will put that together. I will do that and then just go through it. So it is something that yeah, it was a whole thing in the Oval Office of President Trump coming out and asking the whole thing about why are we paying so much money in drugs? And they said basically that's the reason, because you do it, and that's the problem we're running into. So yeah, let's come back to that with Maticats. We'll figure that one out together. Mac McLaren, man, making ham party again this evening like yesterday. Yeah, I didn't think I remember that name before. All right. The Jews were expelled from the land of Israel by the king of Babylon and scattered throughout the world. After years in exile, they returned to the land of their ancestors. Yeah. Do healthcare industry is broke, I guess. Yeah. I mean, the healthcare industry is such a fragile thing overall. Whether it's broke or not, yeah, probably it is. But when they're trying to make it free for everybody, that's when you run into it. I mean, it's sad. And this is where the bad thing says is like, well, if you can't afford healthcare, you're going to die. And it's kind of like, the harsh reality of it is it does cost money to take it. And if you don't have money, someone's got to pay for it. And the idea would be great if we actually had a fund that we all could actually put money into and just donate instead of taking it from us through taxes and that kind of thing. And so that's kind of one of those hard things. I PayPal you. Yeah, we'll just do that real quick. So, sorry, let me get rid of a few people here. I do have soft hands. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I missed a few. Thanks to Trump healthcare. Oh, let me go back to that one. If I could, I would be in America right now. I'd rather pay for healthcare. Oh, Ethan, do it. If I could, I would be in America right now. I'd rather pay for healthcare. Are you from Canada, I'm wondering? If you're from Canada, same thing. A lot of Canadians will come over across the border and come to America and pay for healthcare rather than get their free stuff. Thanks to my Trump, healthcare premiums are being skyrocketed this year, so I'm done with him. Thanks to Trump, my healthcare premiums. Are you talking crazy crap? Are you talking about the Obamacare subsidies going away? Because that's actually a Democrat thing. That's nothing to do with Trump. The fact is they just can't replace it. That's the difference. And not one political perp walk. YouTube sucks. You got soft hand. Did I read that twice? Do you believe Trump's official story of why he took out Maduro? El Rey, we kind of talked about that one. I would probably, do I believe his official story? I don't know enough not to believe it. That's my answer. I don't know enough not to believe the official answer of the President of the United States. That's my answer. You get better doctors, though. If I'm honest, the UK doctors lack so much. I would like to bring up the last 3 catastrophic events in USA and FEMA. We had no money, but did have billions of hotels, credit cards, and healthcare for foreigners. Danica, you're right on that one for sure. Money, why'd you get rid of a few people? It's a free speech, bro. No, and free speech is fine, Crazy Crab. It's a matter of when they start talking about me personally and my soft hands, and they start talking about PayPaling me for sexual acts. That's when I draw the line. So, Crazy Crab, yeah, I get it, but no. Dude, there's only 2 days left of vacation. It makes me feel, I don't know what that is. Even worse in the UK. Yes, they come as cheaper here. It's called communism. Hi from Israel. Great job, Trump. So Ronjular, we actually have 2 people from Israel, so that's cool. Yeah, so, back to Crazy Crab, is it pink? I mean, what should I do about that? What do you say about that? ACA made everyone healthcare go up 3 times. It did. Danica, I believe. 100%. It did. It went up. When Obamacare first got enacted, my personal healthcare went up. And that was the problem. I was very happy with my private care and everything was good. And then boom, it was gone. And it went up. So most trolls are Democrats. Yeah, I can imagine that. I think Republicans just have too much stuff to do in their lives and they can't go on other people's channels to take them down. So thank you, Biden voters. My throat is scratchy. My ears tingle when I smell the hairy lollipop. Yeah, see, there you go. I hate both parties at this point, but you can't pick a side anymore because both are horrible options. Yeah, Crazy Crab. I mean, I can see that for sure. Wesley Alverson, MAGA. There you go. All right. What is this? Ethan, do it. What do you think about the Ukraine shenanigans? Which actual Ukraine shenanigans are you talking about? Like which part? We've been in that war for so long now. That's the issue we're running into. And I could be more specific on that one. Jesus Christ was Palestinian. Yep. Okay. Well, again, I don't know enough about that to say it. The Lion of Judah is Ethiopian. People in the King of Babylon was Solomon, right? Insurance companies are obsolete, way cheaper to pay up front with health savings account, HSAs, exactly. Wesley Alverson, Charlie Kirk is right about everything. Yeah, just gave the land to Russia. You skipped my question about President Trump. Do you believe? Oh, okay. No, sorry, all right. I thought I did mention that. Okay, so so the idea that my answer to that about is the official story. I don't know enough to go against the president of the United States. I don't know enough about Maduro or Venezuela or anything else to not believe the president of the United States. Now, do I believe him? I want to. I want to believe Mel Ray. I do want to believe him, but again, I don't know enough about it to not believe him. So that was my answer. We'll find out. I mean, we're still early. What? It was like 36 hours ago. I mean, what? Maybe. Yeah. See, so it's Sunday evening, a Saturday afternoon, maybe even 24 hours ago that we could talk. No, I think it was like 2:45. So maybe it's been 36 hours. Anyway, I don't know enough information yet to take a side as anything in. So that was my answer. Darren, hi man. Hey, hello. Ukraine would not have been a country without Russia. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's not worth the money in the war, but if Russia get and it will never be enough. I'm trying to read through that. So, but yeah, I mean, most of Ukraine was part of Russia at one point and all that stuff. A lot to be said there. I think it's about oil instead of drugs. El Ray, you might be. Well, El Ray, to your point, we're going after the assets that we had for the oil and for the land that we were promised to get the oil. So I think you're kind of both right, or of all the things, oil and land on there, or oil, but it's about oil. So that's why we went anyway, and the drugs were going to stop that too. So they want more and more land. Yep, it's a Democrat cover-up. Good night and God bless USA. All right, Israelites, have a good evening. We'll take care. My last comment. So crazy crap. My last comment. Hope you read it because I'm mad about Argentina getting our tax dollars and Trump stiffing our American farmers. Maybe I missed a question about Argentina. Maybe I missed that. I'm sorry. Oh, you were talking about Argentina, about sending money over there, because I'm mad about Argentina getting tax dollars and Trump stifling her. You know what? Crazy crap. I'm gonna research that one. So Argentina farmers and what America. I just did a very quick thing called America's Farming Challenge. If you haven't watched my my videos, I put it out a couple days ago. Let's see, when did I put it out? It was 2 days ago. It's called America's Farming Challenge. I went through a lot of that stuff, and we're talking about tariffs and that kind of thing. So watch that video. It's only 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I didn't go deeply into it, but it actually did come off of one of these chats that someone wanted me to do that for it. So that was one of the things I did on that one. Oil is king. Yeah, Route 66, more like Route 6. Route 67. Do you actually recognize this buggy multiplex? This is actually off Route 66, or at least close to it anyway. So that's funny that you recognize that. Oh, the sign in the back. I see it now. Sorry. It's been a while since I actually looked at this picture. I just threw it up there. But yeah, this was Turkey, Texas, home of Bob Wills. 20 billion for Argentina. All right. So 20 billion. Yeah, I'm curious. Farmers are going broke. Yep. You have to see the global picture. Interesting. 20 billion, even worse. I heard it was 1 billion, but 20 billion pisses me off more. Yeah, for sure. No, the farmers have been subsidized since 1930. Yeah, and they are subsidized. I know that for sure. Hey, only constant is change. Welcome back. Good to see you on the channel. Some here in chat do not realize Russia, China were already getting their fingers into Venezuela. Hey, constant change. Do you think that's hey Cookie? How you doing? You might be onto something there too. For those that don't know, I mean, it was China and it was Russia that were getting into Maduro's pockets too. So were they coming to the Western Hemisphere? Was that going to be a place where maybe they already have bases? Educate me. Maybe they already have bases there. I don't know, but that could be a whole thing behind it too. Definitely, everybody's watching everybody at this point. But Chris Y 7RE, Argentina got 20 billion currency swap. We will get our money back with profit. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yep. Yeah. Matacatic says, let's see Trump take Putin. Yeah, where does the line stop overall too? I mean, that is kind of set the precedent for the country and for leaders all around. And what would we do? I think someone asked it earlier in this chat. What would we do if someone came into United States soil and tried to kidnap President Trump? I mean, what would we do? Where would we go at that point? But again, someone else said in this chat, it's all about who's strongest, and that's where we're at with that one. All right. So China's 100 billion went poof a couple days ago in Venezuela. Danica, what are you saying? $100 billion in China was gone from. Interesting. I mean, that's not good for us. Let's put it that way too, if that's true. Yes, Russia wanted to sub bases in the Caribbean. Okay, so I'm on to something, I guess, Nigel. But I guess on that one, maybe. But yep, maybe get our money back is a horrible thing to say. Why would you use a maybe? Good. Yep, true. That is a good point. We aren't getting our money back. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're probably right. I was trying to think of something. You got me. Do you think Trump? Okay, Serene Soul. Do you think Trump asked Putin for approval before pulling the trigger? No, I don't think Trump did. To be honest with you, Serene, I do not. I don't think Trump asked permission for everybody. No. So no. I mean, it's a straight up no answer on that one. So anyway, we just hit 60 minutes. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please go on and like the channel. I really appreciate that one very much. So, propping of Venezuela. Yep, Manicats. We have warships in their areas. Why can't they have theirs and ours? Yeah, Maticats. That's a good question. We have warships in their areas. I don't have an answer for you on that one. I don't know. Maticats, that's a good question. But yeah, we just don't allow it. You know why? Why? Because we're strongest. That's why. That's my answer. Because we're strongest. Right or wrong, that's probably the answer. But yeah. Yeah, Mark Travis. Been a while since you posted, Mark Travis, but glad you're still here. Trump don't get telegraphs moves. Exactly. Yep. I agree on that one. So, why should we telegraph them? Why should we telegraph them? Exactly. Yeah, why should we? You know, yeah, well, and we don't need anybody's help. It'd be one thing different if we needed somebody else's help. We needed their military support or a base or something like that. We don't need that. The United States doesn't need anything from anybody, and therefore we just don't. And that's the whole thing. Danicus is the Western Hemisphere is our oyster. Yeah, yep. Country we really liked. So Maticats, if the countries we don't like team up, how can we win? Yeah, well, if they were to go against us, we'd stop supplying the money to them, and they'd probably run out of money and the trade and everything else. So I don't think I couldn't imagine there being enough. That would be a good war games question overall to figure that out, because if everybody, name who they are, right? It'd be China, North Korea. I don't even know. They're talking about Kim Jong-un getting older too, but Iran, maybe Iraq. Somalia is not going to put up. There's so many countries that don't like us. Like, put it to your point, Maticats. There's so many countries that don't like us, but what could they do? Even if they all teamed up, I don't think they could match the firepower or the superiority of the United States. So at least I sleep better at night knowing that. Anyway, maybe that's the whole. I can answer that one. They are trying to act like America. 5D chess. Agree. Can I see your dishwasher, gringo? Show me your dishwasher. What? Show me your dishwasher. All right. We would step away from the UN. Yeah, then stop paying them. What's the topic? MG Sports Channel. We're talking about what would happen if the last question was basically what would happen if all of the countries that hate America teamed up to fight us. That was the last one. I think we're getting past that. I like the movie War Games. Interesting game. The only good move is not to play. Yeah. Romeo Juju. It's nice to have someone with balls in charge. Obama and Biden had America bent over the table. Agreed. And they're drawing lines in the sand and saying, "Hey, don't go here." All that stuff. It's crazy. Hey, so Crazy Crab Hegseth will leak the war plans again, like the drunk he is. I can sympathize. And when you go out one time and you get drunk and everybody just keeps talking about it. So, yeah, I think he's past that. I hope he grew up. Holy Ghost, I'm not sure. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. Yeah, E-Dog, everybody wants a piece of the pie, but nobody wants to make it. Yeah. Yep. Obama had his third term with an auto pen and Biden. Mark Travis, yeah, you're right on that one. All right, guys. Hey, we hit 65 minutes. If you haven't liked to subscribe, please do. I really appreciate it. I put some of our videos out this week, some more shorts. Please like them. Again, we hit the over the 500 mark to try and get somewhat subsidized to go into 1,000, but new things are opening up. I just need the watch time right now. So that's kind of the cool thing on that one. F blue and green slacks. All right. Hello from Sydney, Australia, James Downey. Hey, welcome to the channel. We appreciate it. But all right, you guys, we got 21 people watching at the moment. I'm actually going to sign off. I'm actually not feeling good. My throat's a little dry. It's been good conversation so far. He gave me enough homework to look up. I'm going to look up a few things on here between drug prices, Argentina money going to not going to American farmers, but going to Argentina's farmers, and Gavin McInnes. So I'll take a look at that and see. And then I appreciate it. Thanks, Al Ray. Yeah, thanks, E-Dog. But hey, I'll try and be on here more off this week. Please put your little notifications up there, and we'll go from there. So anyway, guys, have a great week, and God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.